already at Tigrinya interpreter. Do you need a second Tigrinya interpreter?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we do not. But thank you all. If you can just hang on. But as of now, I don't anticipate needing any interpretation. We do not have any signups. But if you all can please just hang on for the length of the meeting, we'd appreciate it.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christian, do we need a quorum?
No.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday to each of you. It's nice to see you. I see on screen Commissioner Roberts, Commissioner Coy. Good afternoon to you. If there are other commissioners on, please just let me know that you are present.
Commissioner Griffin is here. Something's up with my camera still, but I'm working on it.
No worries. Good evening, Commissioner Griffin.
Hey.
So welcome to tonight's special work session for annual review. I want to thank the community for coming out, testifying, but it doesn't sound like we have anyone signed up. Is that correct, Christian?
Yes, that's correct.
We will start tonight's, thank you. We will start tonight's hearing with a recap presentation from Ms. Angela Alvarez, who is our Director of Initiatives. Angela, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Good evening, Board of Commissioners.
Good evening. Please keep your phones muted, everyone, and your videos off until it is your time to testify, or you may be muted or removed from the call. That would be unfortunate. I will now read a roll call of the board to identify who is with us. Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner Chinya.
Present.
Commissioner Brooks, was that you?
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks, good evening again. Commissioner Chinya. Commissioner Coy.
Present.
Commissioner Griffin.
I'm here.
Griffin, we see you now.
Hey.
Hey. Commissioner Katz-Ogby. Commissioner Reed. Commissioner Roberts.
Yeah.
Commissioner Sally. Chair Richardson. Thank you. I will now turn it over to Ms. Alvarez for the presentation.
All right. Good evening. We are here for this special work session just to remind members of the public of some recommendations related to the annual review process for traditional schools. This process aligns to several of the board's key priorities. Priority 3, ensuring that city schools will have a high quality modernized facilities and resources that support the success of students, educators, administrators, and staff. That city schools will effectively engage all stakeholders, which includes parents, families, and caregivers in their child's education, and community partners who can contribute to the success of students. Priority 5, that there's equal access to district services, resources, and facilities to ensure the success of students, staff, and the surrounding community. Priority 6, increasing the number of educational programming of all types and levels throughout the city, while ensuring that all schools, including charters, guarantee a high quality educational experience. And priority 7, it continues, city schools work towards continuously driving equity at all levels by implementing policies, practices, and procedures that create a welcoming and inclusive academic and professional environment. As part of the review of schools, we consider several factors in terms of that lead to the recommendations that are before the Board of Commissioners. They include looking at the academic performance and programming of our schools, climate indicators and programs in place to ensure a strong culture and climate within schools, access to quality, availability, access, quality, and distribution of school programming to specific populations and across geographies, to ensure that all communities and student groups are equitably served. Looking at school enrollment and school size, which impacts the sustainability of schools and schools' ability to offer programming to students. Building utilization and condition, the shape of the building, how well is it, and how many students we have within those buildings. Actions that are necessary for the 21st century school buildings plan. And this is also the time that we consider recommendations for our operator-led schools and their renewal process. So we originally presented recommendations on the 9th. We had our first COMAR hearing on December 6th. Tonight is our special work session on annual review for traditional schools. And the board will be making votes on the process for traditional schools on February 14th. We will be updating the timeline for our operator schools based on MCAP data. The recommendations that are before the board are to potentially surplus the Dr. Carter G. Woodson building and the Southside building in the summer of 2023. I'm saying potentially because these recommendations are also connected to an expression of interest that we've been working on with the city. And depending on that process, we may pull and not surplus the buildings. That expression of interest, the applications were due on January 10th. So we're beginning the process of reviewing the applications. The board is also considering 3 amendments to the 21st Century Buildings Plan. The first is to change the surplus date on Exhibit 6, which is our list of 26 buildings we're required to, as part of the 21st Century Buildings Plan, surplus back to the city of Baltimore. And so we're requesting the board approve extending our time in the Northwest building from 2025 to 2028, so it can accommodate our high schools that are being built under the second phase of 21st century, or also known as Built to Learn. We're also asking that the board amend the surplus date for the Southeast Middle building from school year 24 to school year 25. That's tied to just needing it longer for Commodore John Rogers to be in that swing space. And then changing the surplus date for Thurgood Marshall building from 2025 to 2027. That facility is the temporary location for Bangor Collegiate, which will be swinging in or moving back to their permanent building, which is the Northeast building, after some renovations are completed. And Furley Elementary is also temporarily housed there and will be moving into their newly renovated space. And then Thurgood Marshall will become a swing space for City College High School, which is being constructed under the second phase of 21st century, also known as Built to Learn. So that's the summary of recommendations for tonight. Just want to check and see, do we have any change in any members of the public signing up for to speak tonight?
And Angela, while we're waiting, just want to also check in with our board commissioners who are present to see if there are any clarifying questions or thoughts that commissioners may have this evening regarding your recap tonight.
No, I just want to thank Angela for the recap.
Oh, good evening. Good evening, Commissioner Sally.
Good evening. How are you?
Great. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. No, I just want to thank Angela for it. It's very helpful to have the recap. It helps just align, to make sure it align, that I understand, the public understands in terms of what the recommendations on the table are. So thank you. It's very clear.
Thank you. And Angela, if you could scroll up just to that comments and questions slide so that we can make sure that that's captured tonight for any members, or also on our screens, it's social media. We know that our meetings will be, replayed and shared. So if this could stay there. If folks have questions, this is that information, that contact information where you can send your questions directly. And as Angela mentioned, all messages to the board concerning any of the review recommendations should be sent by Friday, February 10th. That helps staff make sure that we are as prepped as possible for our vote that will follow in that next week. So if we don't have any additional questions or members of the public, we are going to end tonight's meeting and session. Again, thank you to reiterate to our staff. Thank you for all of your work, Angela and your team, as you would make sure that we celebrated not just you, but you are leading the work. So certainly we appreciate you and your leadership around this process. But to all staff members, city school staff that participate in this, thank you all for your due diligence around making sure that this is as thorough as possible for us to make the most informed decision. With that, everyone have a great evening. This coming Monday, we are celebrating Dr. King's birthday, a true pioneer for civil rights and justice in our country. And we certainly want to, hey, Dr. Santelises, we certainly want to, as we remember with President Obama, it was a National Day of Service. So we'd like to continue that, at least in thought and in spirit. If you have a service project or idea that you would like to contribute to in honor of Dr. King, please make that possible on Monday for our community. And certainly on Tuesday morning, the Operations Committee will meet and at 10:30 and at 3:30 p.m. Or is it 4 p.m., Commissioner Griffin? It's 4 now, thank you. The Policy Committee will meet at 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon. Everyone have a great evening, and we will see you all next week. Thanks, team. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.